Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
That's $100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Floyd Mayweather, once boasting career earnings of over $1.2 billion, is now reportedly facing financial ruin, according to shocking new CNN reports. Despite flaunting luxury jets, mansions, and million-dollar watches, insiders claim Mayweather's reckless spending, failed business ventures, and mounting legal fees have taken a massive toll. Sources say the boxing legend is quietly liquidating assets to cover debts, while others allege a looming bankruptcy filing.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get.
Floyd Mayweather once sat at the pinnacle of wealth in sports, reportedly amassing over $1.2 billion through prize fights, endorsements, and appearances, but as quickly as the money rolled in, it was squandered. Instead of investing wisely or maintaining financial stability, Mayweather lived as if the stream of wealth would never end. Lavish purchases, plated jets to entire fleets of supercars defined his daily life. His desire to be seen as the richest, flashiest figure in sports overtook any sense of financial discipline. The very habits that earned him the money nickname have now left him on the brink of financial collapse.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least $400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like $100 million each fight.
I would think
shit.
Close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying. You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
let's see what they say. Exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather made headlines not just for his undefeated record, but for the jaw-dropping paydays attached to his fights. His bout with Manny Pacquiao reportedly earned him over $250 million, and his exhibition with Conor McGregor brought in similar numbers. He was constantly billed as the highest-paid athlete alive. If you like this, please subscribe, punch Vista, and click the bell icon for more latest and interesting videos. But rather than treating this income as a foundation for long-term wealth, Mayweather used it as fuel for extravagance. Massive parties, private jets for his entourage, and million-dollar gambling sprees became the norm.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
Floyd's financial troubles haven't been limited to careless spending. His name has frequently surfaced in legal controversies tied to questionable business ventures. In 2022, he was caught up in a class action lawsuit related to a cryptocurrency scheme many called a pump and dump. Although the case was dismissed, it highlighted Floyd's willingness to jump into hype-driven ventures without proper oversight. Things escalated. In 2024, when he faced another lawsuit, this time for allegedly ordering his bodyguard to assault a man the victim sought over $3 million in damages, These lawsuits further expose the volatile and reckless pattern of his financial decisions. Joe Rogan never one to hold back.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. You know, I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's life.
Publicly criticized Mayweather's apparent disregard for tax obligations, Rogan warned that no matter how rich a person is, failing to pay taxes invites serious trouble with the IRS. And he's right. Many wealthy individuals have fallen due to such neglect. Rogan pointed out that Floyd's extravagant lifestyle might be hiding deep financial instability. The blueprint Floyd seems to be following isn't new.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Mike Tyson famously earned hundreds of millions during his boxing prime, only to declare bankruptcy after years of reckless spending. Tyson owned Tiger's mansions and a gold bathtub, and now Floyd seems to be following the same destructive playbook, just like Tyson Mayweather flaunts his cars, jewelry, and houses. Yet behind the curtain, his finances appear unstable.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again. And y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. It was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. They start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement, or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching the sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains,
Ironically, Floyd has often spoken about financial strategy, even referencing a buy low, sell high approach to his real estate investments. But his actions contradict his words. No one questions Mayweather's brilliance inside the ring. His defensive mastery, timing, and fight IQ cemented his legacy as one of the greatest boxers in history. He retired undefeated, something few athletes can claim, but athletic talent doesn't automatically translate into financial intelligence. Mayweather's focus and discipline in boxing sharply contrast with his impulsiveness outside the ring.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example, I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. He became the villain.
Even Floyd's own uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has questioned his financial decisions in a candid interview. Jeff admitted he no longer understands Floyd's erratic behavior, especially his chaotic investment patterns. Floyd appears to leap into business deals without a clear strategy, driven more by ego than logic. His massive real estate claims raise eyebrows among professionals who understand how risky those markets can be.
No idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much. And so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, to better his life, like, buying homes and buying, different things. And so, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
I know that KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
Floyd's conflict with the IRS is a major red flag in the past. Federal authorities reportedly warned him to sell his properties and settle his tax obligations. Ignoring such a demand is financial suicide when the IRS begins seizing assets. It signals a deep level of mismanagement.
I'm at least back reporting. You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. Hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
Floyd's refusal to proactively handle his tax debt only made the situation worse. Eventually, Floyd addressed the tax rumors by revealing he had paid $26 million to the IRS. But instead of resolving doubts, the announcement raised more questions. Was that the full amount owed? Was it too late? The timing seemed less about transparency and more about damage control.
By showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, 26 million.
Then just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas. Here, take care.
Some critics argue that the payment was a public relations move aimed at silencing growing speculation. Despite mounting lawsuits and financial warnings, Mayweather recently claimed he invested $42 million into real estate, purchasing 62 buildings in Manhattan with his own money. While he stressed that no outside partners were involved, critics doubt the legitimacy of such a claim. The timing and scale seem exaggerated, especially given his other financial woes.
$2 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned.